The Minnesota Vikings now have 2 first-round picks in the upcoming 2024 NFL Draft. They acquired the 23rd overall selection from the Houston Texans. They are giving the Texans a second-round pick and a sixth-round pick in the 2024 Draft. And they also are giving the Texans a second-rounder for next year's draft, while they now have the 11th and 23rd picks. And we all know what the Vikings probably are thinking. You know, they want to come away with one of the best quarterbacks in this class. The question is, do they have enough to trade up for one of the best? Because picking at 11th, that still puts you in range to get a Bo Nix, maybe a J.J. McCarthy. But can you crack that top 5 to get a Drake May or a Jaden Daniels? Or even if J.J. McCarthy goes that high, can you walk away with the quarterback that you really have your eyes on if you're Minnesota?
Yeah, so this trade is nothing more than like you go out to eat and you get an appetizer. Like this trade is a total setup trade. I think the assets of 11 and 23 is really enough to intrigue a team like New England. Seriously. I really do. Because at that point, you can, if you decide to trade for Justin Fields, whatever you decide to do a quarterback, at that point, you can continue to build your roster with good players with those 2 picks at where they're slotted. And I love the trade for Minnesota because it shows super aggression. The way you go get your quarterback of the future is you be aggressive. Look at what the Kansas City Chiefs gave up to get Patrick Mahomes at 10. They were super aggressive. And not only were super aggressive, it was meticulous. They had a plan. You get what I'm saying? And it seems like with this trade with the Minnesota Vikings, they're doing the exact same thing. Now, again, you brought up a very good point. Who is this for? Because everybody sees, well, not everybody, but the majority of NFL media sees the top quarterback is Caleb Williams. But after Caleb, it's haywire. Some people have Drake May. Some people have Jaden Daniels. Some people have J.J. McCarthy.
McCarthy.
It's crazy. So at that point, even if you do get to 3, do you even get your guy? Like, what if Washington takes who Minnesota's trading up for? You see what I'm saying? Like it's such an interesting, view and such an interesting, potential, scenario. But honestly, I also want to touch on it from Houston's perspective. I think trading out of the first round for them was very smart. They had a very, very good free agency. They addressed a lot of their needs. So this trade back just gets you like a really, really talented player in the second round and continue to add to your already good roster, good young roster. But yeah, Minnesota, man, they absolutely now have the ammo to go get their quarterback of the future. But I just wonder who it is, because if it's McCarthy, for me, because I scout quarterbacks at Famous Art, for me, that's a lot. It's a lot to trade up for JJ McCarthy, But if you're going up for who I think would be the ideal person, if you're going up for Drake May,
then, hell yeah.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Drake May with Jay Jettis, Jordan Addison, and TJ Hawkinson.
Let me tell you something right now. If the Minnesota Vikings did this trade to go up for Drake May, we get to watch Drake May versus Caleb Williams for the next 5 years.
Oh my goodness. I didn't even think of that. And you want to know what's crazy? They wanted to trade off for Anthony Richardson last year. And I think they felt a little bit of remorse because they maybe we should have been a little bit more proactive. You feel me? And Kevin O'Connell, I trust him with any quarterback. But as we've seen with Kyle Shanahan, no matter how good of an offensive mind you may be, if a guy can't play, a guy can't play. There's only so much you can do. So if you're trading up, you got to definitely make sure that you're trading up for a guy who definitely can be that franchise game changer for you at QB. And for Minnesota, them getting the right quarterback is probably the only thing that's... Does it piss you off how much you pay for your monthly phone bill? Why are you getting frustrated when our partner Mint Mobile has plans as low as $15 a month that give you unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network? Stop getting frustrated with how much you spend on your monthly phone bill and go to trymintmobile.com/JT Sports in description and pin comment down below to get access to premium wireless for only $15 a month. That's only $15 a month. Switching to Mint is easy. It only takes 15 minutes to do. If you're pissed off with how much you pay for your monthly phone bill, switch to Mint Mobile today and go to trymintmobile.com/JT Sports in description and pin comment down below to get premium wireless for only $15 a month. Stop getting upset with how much you spend on your monthly phone bill and switch to Mint Mobile today. Keeping them from being in that championship conversation. We know they're going to re-sign Jay Jettas, and they have a pretty decent offensive line. You got Christian Darrisaw, but you know, would they be straight with a Jaden Daniels?
So again, this is tough because the way I see these quarterbacks could be completely different from how Minnesota sees them. But if I'm in, I try not to bring up trying to create clout for myself or whatever. But I found it very interesting how Chris Sims just completely like shitted on Drake May and said how he's a talented project. But Jaden Daniels in 2022, you could argue, was the worst quarterback out of any of these quarterbacks. Like, his 2022 tape was horrible. And now this year he has the Heisman Trophy season, which, shout out to you. You had an incredible season. But which is it? Are you the 2022 tape that was terrible, or are you the 2023 tape? So I think he has the lowest floor of, the consensus, top 5 quarterbacks in this class. So if you're trading up for Jaden Daniels, Minnesota, please understand that you are getting a potential, NFL, superstar. No, not superstar, NFL star, sure. But you're also looking at yourself saying in 3 years, maybe, dang, like, we got to trade this dude. Potentially.
We messed up, like San Fran.
Yeah, yeah, right. Like, trade. Bro, I promise you, no hater stuff. Trey Lance and Jaden Daniels are more similar than you think. Like, fam, like, and I mind
as a matter of fact, let's segue
Daniels.
to this. Let's segue to that, right? So Minnesota, They got the 23rd pick. They got the 11th pick now. It seems as if they have enough ammo to trade into the top 10.